So, what is your opinion of Julian Assange and Wikileaks?
My opinion, emotionally, is that he's a good character. But I think I'd rather use other measuring sticks, such as the fact that the Prime Minister said he was illegal when he wasn't. The Australian Federal Police measured that and found that he was not acting illegally in any way as an Australian citizen. So there was no problem with that. And so I don't have any problem with his character. He could well be seen as someone who's a bit arrogant, but ultimately his work is measured by those with impeccable backgrounds who support him. And so I like to say that he's good and a good character.
Okay. How do you think Julian Assange and Wikileaks has been represented in the media, and do you think that the representation is fair?
I think the representation is generally unfair, and there tends to be this position that the media takes that because Julian Assange says that he is a journalist and is representing journalists, which I do have a bit of an issue with. Essentially, he's a whistleblower and runs a database, but he is seen as someone who is up to no good. He's often misrepresented in the media as someone who's perhaps acted illegally and put troops at risk and all that sort of thing, when very little to none of that has been proven. Rather, again, I'd like to suggest that I would prefer to measure him by those who associate with him, such as John Pilger, Tony Benn, Jeffrey Robinson QC, Jennifer Robinson, who has represented him, and also the lawyer Brett Barnes. All of those people vouch for Assange and are prepared to support him in his quest, in his essentially self-imposed exile in the Ecuadorian embassy. And yet the mainstream media tend to not convey their stories like that. Rather, they'll write stories or even, in some cases, make films about him where he doesn't come out so well. And so I prefer to measure his character and measure the poorly written stories that the mainstream media write about him by way of his association with those people like Philip Knightley and John Pilger.
Yeah. Do you think that the representation of Wikileaks and Julian Assange is the same all over the world, or different nations look at him differently? Say, in Australia, he has been called a hero, whereas in Sweden he's up for allegations of rape.
I don't know enough about that. I think it's fairly hard to measure. I think essentially a lot of the mainstream media and a lot of the attitude, the rumour and so forth is run essentially by the United States, and we see that in the surveillance of the individual citizens and even politicians, like Angela Merkel has been surveyed by the Americans, and the British as well are very much in this. So how they tend to misrepresent or write about Assange, or how people think about him, is largely a response to what's out there in the mainstream media, which is very much a conservative, towing the line type of message or framing that goes down. I'm sure there are a lot of Swedes who think he's fantastic as well. And generally those who would think he's not are probably those who like to toe the line on a lot of things and suggest that the action that the US takes in its superior hegemonic actions throughout the world are essentially good, when they're not. They're breaking the law, whereas Assange hasn't been shown to be breaking the law anywhere as yet. He's never been in court, but it's quite clearly that the US breaks laws in respect to invading countries and so forth, committing war crimes and so forth.
Okay, thank you.